Hi, ladies and gents, and anyone who's out there. This is the film and TV review. You know what films we've looked at recently, and what TV series we've looked at recently too. So, we'll be talking about that. I've got my guest here, J.K. Kismet, and he's coming on with us, and there he is. It's the man himself. Hiya, J.K.
Hiya, bro. How you doing?
I'm all right. So I'm good. I'm good. I've just
Good
been
to hear.
talking. I've just been talking to Lee, and you know what he's like, don't you? He just goes on and on and on. And I'm saying, Lee, we've got a show to do here. And he went, oh, I forgot about it. We've been babbling on, not we, if you know what I
Uh-huh.
mean, not collective we. And anyway, he said, give me 5 or 10 minutes.
Uh-huh.
He'll be coming on with us. He'll be joining us. He said that he's been watching some film about the Amazon, so that'll be fun to listen to. I've been, one of the films I've reviewed is The Beekeeper, starring, I don't like this fella. He just plays himself. He's, he,
Hmm.
he can't do comedy. He can't do anything. This fella, Jason Statham, and he's been going for years, but he plays the same character. And the beekeeper, if they sent him to, he's a one-man army, defeats armies and everything. It's so over the top. It's incredible. And but they've got a great actor in it, Jeremy Irons, and he's the baddie.
Hmm.
Uh, but you'll know the outcome as soon as you see it. You'll know the outcome of the film, the entire film. You know what he's going to do, if you know what I mean. These Americans, they love all
Yeah,
this
yeah.
action, and so if you like all this, like kicking and no storyline really, and a one-man army fighting armies and whatever, just watch it. But me, if you've got a little bit of a brain cell, just don't watch it. Absolutely horrendous. It is. Have you, have you watched anything? I can't wait for
Hey.
the. I can't wait for the other fella to come on, Lee. And what he's been talking, he was just talking to me before, and he said, in watching this thing, he said, I'll talk about it later on. And it's about, I think he mentioned about the, what you call it, the Freemasons, because it was, he asked me yesterday about yesterday's lecture I gave up in Mugo, and I told him about it, brought in
Hmm.
different kinds of aspects of the lecture I was talking about. And he said, oh, I've been doing something about that. I've been looking at a film. This is about Freemasonry, what's going on in the world today with these Freemasons. And we had a good chat, actually. And I said, listen, we've got to start this thing. So anyway, he's getting ready to come on. I think he's combing his hair or something, fixing his wig or something. I don't know. But he'll be joining us. Have you watched anything recently, Jake?
The well, it's true. I think majority.
You're breaking up,
Okay, give me 1 second.
You're breaking up, mate. I'm sorry. But anyway, yeah, people, I've been watching some things. If you haven't watched Your Honor, watch it. Your Honor, Bryan Cranston, great actor, great American actor. It's a really good film. It really is. And I always think this fella's name is Michael. Oh, he's got one of them funny names. But anyway, he's a great actor as well. He's a very, very good actor, and he's in it. And he's the head of a family, if you know what I mean, the head of a family. And I'm talking about gangsterism. But if you haven't seen it, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. And I'm just going to bring on here, not bring on, but Steve Evans says, watch the latest Jodie Comer film. Just been watching it, Steve. The other night, The Ends We Start From. Decent watch about natural disasters in Britain and how people's mindset change when faced with a crisis. Yes, yes. And she was the leading cast. She led the cast, and it was a very good cast, by the way, as well. So I think Tom Hardy's in it. Is Tom Hardy in that? I was watching another one with Tom Hardy and about a true story, Stay, about how the motorcyclists, got together, the Hells Angels, and it's just called the Motorbikers. But you've got an actor in it who's totally over the top, and all he does is this. That's what he does. That's his acting. Some young fella. I thought, oh, piss off. I'm watching this. Tom Hardy as well is in it, and I'm sure Jodie's in it as well. I'm sure she is. She's in it. She's in this one as well, an American thing.
I think Mark Strong's in.
Sorry?
Mark Strong?
I don't know. No. Are you saying who's in this particular film?
Yeah.
No. But Steve Evans says about The Ends We Start From. Sad and poignant film. Tom Hardy's not in it, mate. Mark Strong, Gina McKee, Benedict. Go away. I'm going to watch that as soon as we finish. Gina McKee, brilliant actress. Mark Strong. I know Mark, believe it or not. Would you believe?
Yeah.
Mark Strong. Oh, yeah, absolutely. But yeah, Benedict Cumberbatch is one of my favourites. I'm going to watch that, Steve. Thank you so much for recommending that.
I'll have a look at that.
Yeah. Are you? Will you watch this? The Ends We Start From. Oh, yeah, I'll watch that. I'll definitely. Yeah, to watch The Kitchen. He says, "Did you watch The Kitchen?" Keep it real. Big up, Frank. Dropping a like for you, mate. On my way to the gym. Have a good show. Thank you so much. Keep it. Thank you. Dropping a like. Thanks, mate. It's really appreciated. One of the lads. Keep it. We never seen him last night on the pod, did we? He must have been in the gym. Must have just got home, had his breakfast and going back to the gym. That's why he wasn't on last night. But anyway, thank you so much, mate. And Drunk Vigo, he wasn't on last night. Where's Vase of Flowers? Why, do you want him? I think he's in love with this fella. And there he is here. There he is. There's Vase. Drunk.
Here I am.
Yes, Lee. What you saying, bro?
Right.
We've just been
Okay.
I was just talking there about the beekeeper. And it's so, if people like action, if people like Jason Statham, it's, I'm afraid it's so over the effing top. But one man army going and beating everybody in America, even the soldiers, cops, you name it. He taking everyone on at the same time. It's the same it's the same Jason Statham film, same looks, same everything. Just absolute. He's a dreadful actor, in my opinion. Anyway.
But I
Steve
think
Evans.
he fits the roles.
So go on.
I think he. Yeah, I reckon he fits the role. Jason Statham, where.
But he just plays the same fella all the time. You know, it's no. You know, you get the likes of the franchise of Mission Impossible, but they're like things Mission Impossible. You know, where you see Ethan Hawke, you know, going after whatever he has to go after. He's not playing himself, if you know what I mean. You've got the likes of the franchise of John Wick. You know, he goes after things, you know, because out for revenge. But this fella, the storyline is just action and blowing up and, you know, crashes and whatever. Dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. Same old all the time. Anyway, you know, that's just me. That's just me. And Steve Evans
But
says,
maybe the public.
Sorry?
Like the public are in.
The public.
Yeah.
You're breaking up, you know.
Yeah.
There's Lee again, though. I don't know where he went. What happened to you there, Lee?
I forgot to plug in and my power went off. I haven't plugged myself in.
I remember it. Where I used to live, right, there was a fella, honestly, and his lights went off, you know, little family of theirs. He never paid his electricity bill and cut him off. And the next, I'm sitting there, you know, watching the telly, and the lights went off. This is where I used to live. This is where I was married, you know. And I'm sitting there watching the telly, and the next, all the lights went out, and she went there. What's happened? I said, I don't know. And this is serious. I opened the door because there was the doorbell went, you know, battery operated, wasn't there? So I opened the door, and there's this fella, genuinely, and he's standing there with a wire, right? You know, with all little wires coming out. You know, a little cable, but all wires showing. And he has, you know, like soot on his face. Right, and his hair standing up. Honestly, his hair was standing up, and he was like, "I'm all shook up." I was going, "Come on, it's like Elvis." I'm all shook up. I said, "Why? What's up?" He said, "I was trying to get electricity. You know, outside, you know, the lamps, you know, the lamp, the street lamp. He's trying to get electricity to his house through that, and he blew everywhere up." He just had me with blacked out, and he was all shook up. I called him Elvis after that. How are you, Elvis? Well, that's genuine. That's absolutely genuine. Steve Evans, making my way through the last season of The Walking Dead, nothing to do with Everton. That's shocking, that. Is it? Making my way through the last season of The Walking Dead, nothing to do with Everton. And Drunk Vigo says, "I'm in love with Enzo, bro." I think we're all in love with him. You know, let's see that he can stabilise the little midfields, especially after the Arsenal game. And Steve Evans says, "If you want to laugh, get onto the Righteous Gemstones."
Isn't that Danny McBride in that state?
He's good, him. He's good. He's good. He's good, him. And Drunk Vigo, Rick Grimes. I know Ricky Grimes. If it's the Ricky Grimes, I know. And we're on the same page politically. We're on the same page. I wonder if it's that. Yeah, look, here's the 12th man. "Lodge up, my Reds. Up late," says the 12th man. all the way in America. Get to bed and be yourself and start dreaming about Jürgen Klopp and Xabi Alonso. And Gary Rigby, morning, Frank and Vaza Flowers. Well, you never mentioned Gary. JK, he's here with us, the invisible man. But he's here nevertheless. So what was you talking to me about before, Lee? You were saying about some film that you were watching.
Yeah, it's a Colombian film. It was Oscar nominated. It's the first Colombian film to ever be Oscar nominated. It's from 2015. It was an interesting look at the lifestyle of the Amazonian people in the Amazonian jungle. So it's like the vanishing Amazonian jungle. And it's a story of a relationship between Karamakate, I think his name is, and two scientists who were looking for a plant that heals, like a healing medicine plant. And yeah, it's interesting. It's based on two true stories. It's linked. The two true stories are linked by the one man, Caracatome, who's the Colombian indigenous Indian, and it's an ecological adventure with mystical touches. It's very good if you like thought-provoking films. It's a very thought-provoking drama. It's beautifully shot. It's got really nice cinematography. It's shot in black and white. If you don't mind it in black and white, seeing the Amazon jungle in black and white, which doesn't bother me. I mean,
well, black and white.
Think about it. Do you really need that much colour in the Amazon jungle at times?
Well, black and white gives you the authenticity of anything.
Yeah,
if you want the realism, that's why you film in black and white.
I really enjoyed it, and there's a fella in it claiming to be the Messiah deep in the jungle. There's hallucinogens that the Indians take, the carpi that he takes, one of the scientists. It's dead good, yeah. Check it out, Drunk Vigo, 12th Man. Anyone else watching? It's called Embrace of the Serpent. And it's dead good. If you like interesting films, it's a good film, and that's all there is to it, yeah.
Well, there's a film done a few years ago now, and it was called Arachnophobia. And it was about researchers in South America, the rainforest, the Amazonian. And they were looking for cures and things like that, because there's been a big political debate over the years about how much rainforest is being sucked up, if you know what I mean, for, as they say, progress, for farmlands and whatever. And the world was saying, don't do this, because there's untold riches of medicines in the Amazonian jungle, untold riches. But and it's getting rid of the habitat of from the likes of creatures, and especially the Amazonians themselves. It's getting rid of their
Can
habitat.
you allow me to blabber on again for a minute? There's a great scene where one of the guys who's looking for the herbal medicine plant, that's what they're there for, to look for this herbal medicine plant. He shows the Indian fella like a photograph of himself, and he's never seen one before. And he says, it's like what's he called? Kirkwai. He says, what they are doppelgangers of ourselves. And he said, they're from time, but they don't belong in time. They're just lost in time. They're from time, but they don't belong to time. And that was his explanation of a photograph. And I thought it was really great. It was dead interesting the way he explained it. Like, that was their take on it, yeah. On a photograph.
What do you think of that, JK? Is he there?
It's strange because like the last few documentaries about the Amazon.
Yeah. No, I've watched plenty
Amazon.
They're
saying that's getting documentaries about
Well, as I said, yeah. Well, I was about to say the JK and Lee. I've watched lots of documentaries about the rainforests, and the potential. Well, we do get our medicines, from there, and they reckon that there's a cure for cancer. Well, I believe that there's already a cure for cancer, to be honest. But with the growing population, I don't think that there's. I don't think that it'll come to fruition just yet. I think they have to get rid of half of the world population, to be honest. This is why we're having wars and whatever. But anyway, that's another thing to discuss at some other pod, not me.
Yeah, but
Anyway, as I said, I was watching all these documentaries, but there's a documentary, believe it or not, it's not a documentary, sorry, a film, and it's called The Rainforest. Is it just called The Rainforest? And it's about like a group of people, and they're protesters from chopping these trees down, and they get captured by the Amazonians. They get captured. And don't forget that these Amazonians are not, they're just like what they were. They've never seen any white people before. And they always think that these white people, these are our enemy. It's what's it called? I'm sure it's just called The Rainforest. And it's well worth a look. It's well worth a look. How the West and now these people who have never seen a white person or seen anything of the West, any technology or whatever, they just live the way they've lived for thousands of years or whatever.
Isn't Louis Diaz got some Native American, quite a bit of Native American in him? He looks.
I think they all have South Americans.
Yeah. But I mean, when they're talking in this, when the Native American Indian fella, I forgot, Kamikaze, his name is, when he's talking in that about quote unquote white people, he's talking about people that look like Louis Diaz, who are quite brown skinned, to be honest. Like, so how white they are is up for debate, like, you know what I mean? They're not very white, are they, them people, like, skin wise and looks wise, like.
But anyway, let's go through some of these are mad days. Lee Carlson's a Scouse hipster. He's drunk vegan. I'm going through some of these, lads, if you don't mind. I had to watch Citizen Kane and film Class, bro. It was black and white. Yeah, Citizen Kane, absolutely brilliant. Orson Welles, one of the greatest actors of all time. And just as a little trivia, when Orson Welles played in a film, he always changed his looks. Did you know that? He always changed his looks. Yeah. You never seen him as Orson Welles. You never seen him as Orson Welles. You see him as the character he plays. Absolutely brilliant. And if you like Orson Welles, watch your film. Try and get it up. It's called The VIPs. It's a fantastic film, and it's about a load of people stuck at the airport. Fog descends, and the flights are cancelled. It's absolutely brilliant, and what a mega cast! Taylor and Burton are in it. They're fantastic in it. Louis Jourdan, he's in it. You know, that big handsome French fella. He's in it, and it's brilliant. Margaret Rutherford, absolutely brilliant. Michael Ordane, Richard Waters, all these fantastic veteran actors. And what a film. It's just called The VIPs. Watch it. You'll enjoy it. I did.
You know what did strike me watching Empire of the Serpent? That to them Amazonians, Hispanics or people, Colombians probably, people that look like Luis Diaz probably do look white. Whereas, like, say, like sub-Saharan Africans, when they saw Arabs before they saw white people, Europeans, they probably thought Arabs were white, and I think they did call Arabs white people when they first saw Arabs. So the definition of what a white person is has changed, hasn't it? Because you can't say Arabs are white, or Colombians, or Venezuelans are white, or El Salvadorians are white. Mexicans, they're not really white, are they? Not
well,
really.
okay. I think that's a very good point there. And I'll go to, go to JK, and then I'll go to you, right? JK, Othello. Is JK there?
JK.
He was breaking up before, unfortunately.
Go on anyway on Othello.
Okay, Othello. Have you ever seen Othello?
Not seen it, but that was my entrance to Shakespeare, that Othello.
Okay. How would you look at Othello if you went to see him today, in a play, or even last year, or even 10 years ago, or even 20 years ago? How would you look? You look at Othello. How would you describe, if you came to me and I said, well, what's this Othello? What's he like? Describe him to me. How would you describe him to me?
Well, on the front of my, I've got it. It's over there somewhere, or over there. He's black on the front of my book, Othello. He's a Moor, isn't he? He's fighting against the Ottomans, isn't he? He's fighting against the Ottomans.
Yeah, he's a Roman general.
Mm.
Okay. Now, why is he black?
There's debate, isn't there? Because the Moors weren't black, like they were North African.
Yeah, they were like Gaddafi.
Yeah.
Because back in Shakespearean times, when it first came out, they had to have him as something different.
Mm.
So they just blackened his face, very dark, very dark. And as time went on, he just became a black man. Whereas he was more like, as I say, and everybody knows this fella, he's dead now, Gaddafi. He was more like him with straight hair, because he was a Moor. He was a North African, not a Central African or a South African or anything,
Just sub-Saharan, not sub-Saharan.
Yeah. So he was more like a Gaddafi sort of thing, and he was a barbarian, because that's why the story revolves around barbarians and what he actually did to his wife through Iago. Killed his wife, then killed himself, and that was barbarism. That's the point of the story. That's barbarism. And he was a barbarian and a Roman general to fight, as you
Those
said.
times were the height of the white slave trade in Africa. There were millions of white slaves taken to Africa, to North Africa by the Muslims, like the Islamic slave trade, and blacks as well. They used to cut our balls off, and blacks.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, you cut your balls off so you couldn't have children. That's why there's no big black population in Arabia or the Middle East. And no real white one either. There wasn't from all the white slaves. Slav, the word slave is taken from the word Slav. The Slavs are Eastern European. The Ottomans used to joke, are there any Slavs left? Are there any Russians left to enslave? Any Slavs left to enslave? They took that many.
Jordan, I go along with what you were saying, because during the 1500s and 1600s, what they used to do, and I'm talking about the Middle East, and you've just been talking about there, they used to come around to the likes of Devon, believe it or not, and Cornwall, park the little ships there and go in and grab men and women, especially men, to put them into slavery.
They went as far north as Iceland.
But that never gets mentioned for some reason, ever gets mentioned through history. When I did my paper, I actually mentioned it, I actually mentioned it.
I've always read, Frank, so I've always known that. If you read, you know it.
Yeah. But it never gets mentioned throughout history, about that. But anyway, let's see what these people are talking about. Steve Evans says, I mentioned arachnophobia. And he says, yeah, John Goodman in that. Yeah, the spider exterminator plays the patriarch in Gemstones. But honestly, if you can get it up, Lee, I shouldn't be saying that terminology, should I? But, if you can get hold of arachnophobia, it's a really good film. It really is. It's good, arachnophobia. It's done in the 80s, I think, or the early 90s, something like, no, the 90s. It was done in the 90s. Drunk Vigo. If you like Rainforest, you should check out Fern Gully from 1992. I wonder what that implies. 12th Man says, what is your favourite football-related movie? Not documentary, in brackets.
Probably Escape to Victory.
I think that's one of the only ones ever made, isn't it?
Pele is great in it, isn't he?
Stallone the goalie.
Stallone's okay, yeah. I don't mind Stallone in it. And John Walk's in it, who played for us. One of our players. I actually seen him play for us, 12th man. John Walk. Started with Pele. Who else was in it? Quite a few. Good film, yeah.
Bobby Moore. Bobby Moore was in it. Bobby Moore. No, but what you see in that at the end, you see all the, the fans running on the field, don't you? And it's just like a Rocky sort of thing where he's doing all this, straight from the Rocky right into being a goalkeeper and beating the Germans. Anyway, what you see these like young lads all running on the field, with tank tops on. At the time they was tank tops. They're all dressed in the, at the time that it was filmed, they're all dressed like that. Not like in 1942 or 3 or whenever it was supposed to be. So anything like that puts me off things. Soulboy, morning everyone. As Lee watched Dario Argento Panico documentary, the Suspiria director. No, I haven't.
I haven't watched the documentary yet, but Suspiria was one of the first, but it's the first Dario Argento film I saw. Then I watched Tenebrae and a few others, but I love Suspiria. It is my favourite Dario Argento horror film. It's a brilliant film. Dead scary. Dead scary. Look, I don't get that scared. I'm not one of those people who are hiding behind the couch or anything but it is freaky. It's a witch's coven. It's a witch's coven that this girl discovers, and some vicious killings in it, like.
There are some fantastic horror films. They really are. And one of the worst ones, I don't mean worse, for frightening. I don't like demonic films. And I went to see, when it first came out in 73, I think 74, was The Exorcist. That frightened me, though. Never watched it since. Yet I've still got the images of sitting in the picture house, looking at Linda Blair going around and the horrible voices. Horrible. And Max von Sydow was the priest, the exorcist. And I've never watched it since. I don't like those type of films at all. Frightening. And Gary says some great docs on YouTube, and Drunk says makes you wonder why they want to save you from the illness that happened in 2020. And that's 12th man. If you like films in Brazil, my favorite film is Cidade de Deus, aka City of the God. Yeah, that is a good film. Yeah, it is a very good film. I also love the movie Brazil, but I don't think if it's set. Yeah, it was a bit Brazil. Yeah, it was a
bit weird, isn't it? Like
strange film.
Yeah.
Very strange.
Yeah, City of God's a brilliant one. 12th bar, I really enjoyed that. Little Z, isn't it? The guy's name. The main guy.
Yeah, Little Z.
Well, Drunk Vigo says, should we be talking about white people? Why? Well, what's wrong with that? I don't understand that.
It was me getting mixed up. What are white people before? Is Luis Diaz white, or is he, I don't know, are Hispanics white? Are Arabs white?
Yeah.
They're not really, are they?
No.
No.
It's you see how easy it is.
They're not,
just talking, and talking, no racism in it at all, and yet you could easily get called out for being a racist. I'm not saying Drunk Vigo's calling us a racist, by the way.
Well, I know for sure that Jews don't identify as white. I know for sure that Arabs don't identify as white. I don't think people in Colombia and like Venezuela and El Salvador identify as white, do they?
No. And you have a caste system in India, don't you? The whiter you are, the more higher up you are.
Mexicans call us gringos. They don't like us, so they're not white, mate.
Yeah, gringos, that's right. A gringo. I seen what was it called? Sierra Madre. Oh, what was it called? Humphrey Bogart. Something Madre, anyway. Sierra Madre, or something like that. Mother Earth, right? And Humphrey Bogart, a gold prospector, along with one of the Houstons, and this other fella whose name I just totally don't remember. And these Mexicans come across, Humphrey Bogart, and he said, "Here we are, the police." Did I sound like Vladimir Zelensky then? He said, "We are the police." And Humphrey Bogart said, "If you're the police, where's your badges?" And he said, "We don't have any stinking badges. We don't have any stinking badges." Yeah, they were bandits, trying to rob the gold. Anyway, I thought I'd just come in with me little no stinking badges.
Yeah, actual white people are a tiny minority on the earth, aren't they? They're about, about 7% or something?
Well, yeah, look, there's a Drunk says, I was King Lear in a high school play, bro. King Lear. One of the greatest plays ever written, but the greatest play ever written was surely, what was your greatest play, JK, by Shakespeare?
I'm not a big fan. I'm not really into Shakespeare.
Oh.
You know? Yeah. I think I missed that train.
I had to go to night school. We didn't do it in high school, or if we did, I wasn't there, because I wasn't there a lot in high school through my own choice after time. But I went to night school over there. It's in this road, but I didn't live here then. And I did Othello. Othello was my entrance to Shakespeare. I've still got the book. It's only 12 quid, and it's a great tale, Othello. I loved Iago, the villain, and I had to laugh like with the teacher, because I hadn't been in a classroom. I was 22 then, and I haven't been in a classroom since I got expelled at 15. and I was telling her all my ideas about Iago and that, like, as he's an intelligent villain, and he
You
like
reckon that he was the greatest villain of all time, Iago?
Yeah, I was comparing them to people who were in films that I'd recently watched, like Hollywood, only for a laugh, like in an absurd way. And she liked my ideas.
Well, all these villains, every Shakespeare play is what you're seeing today. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Every film, he takes something from Shakespeare.
Do you know what?
I did my paper on Shakespeare, by the way.
Everyone else in the class virtually was a middle-aged woman. They were all middle-aged women who'd like missed out on education, and I was a 22-year-old man who had pissed about in school and not took any notice. So I went to learn it there, like.
Well, yeah, look, I've got Daryl Merry. He texted me before about Lloyd Kelly. We'll go on to that a little bit later. Drew Cosmic Cannon. Wow. Hello, Drew.
That's my bro.
Oh, blimey, that's some name, that is the Cosmic. That's great. Just watch the eyes. I'm sorry. Just watch the Eyes Wide Shut again. Stanley Kubrick film, classic. Yes. Tom Cruise and his wife Ben, Nicole Kidman. Absolutely. I loved it. Did you ever watch that, JK?
No, I haven't watched that. I haven't watched that, but I've seen other Stanley Kubrick films, sort of.
Well, Eyes Wide Shut. I don't know about Drew, but what got me about that was the music. The music and cult. I'm glad I got the L out there, you know, the cult. Simply. Have you seen Eyes Wide Shut, Lee?
I've not, no. Sorry, no.
Well, watch it.
I've seen every Stanley Kubrick film thing, but not that one, the last one. That's the only one I've missed out on.
Drunk says, this show is really edgy. No, it's not. Come on. Anyway, you know what he said? This show is really edgy, don't you? Because of what we were talking about before, a minute ago. Lisa Morgan, Lee is the spitting image of Chris Bale in The Fighter with Mark Wahlberg. Mark Wahlberg. I like Mark Wahlberg. Do you know that he's a born-again Christian? Mark Wahlberg.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's a Roman Catholic, and he's really into his religion. Really into his religion. Believe you me. And Minerals. There's Minerals again. It's the Arsenal fan. He's following us. He's stalking us. Now we don't mind your Minerals, honestly. Big up, Frank, mate. You remind me of my granddad who passed in October '88. Were you old enough to watch the first 4 European Cups or went to watch them all? Yes. I was in Rome, 77. I was at Wembley, 78. Paris, 81. And Rome again in 84. Yes. Minerals, I was there. And thanks to remind you of your granddad. Thanks very much. But yeah, it is, I was there. I'm a very lucky person, and to be honest, Minerals, because I've seen ambitions. My ambition was to see Liverpool win the FA Cup. I've seen it. Wembley, 65, beating Leeds, Ian St. John and Roger Hunt, won us the cup. I've seen when I went to Rome 77, which was, as I said, one of my mates said to me, "You've just fulfilled your ambition." I said, "Yeah," because the ambition not only to see Liverpool win the European Cup for the very first time. I was studying the Roman Empire, and at the time. And I said, I want to see the Colosseum. I want to go into the Colosseum. And my mates thought that it was a strip club, you know. They thought, really, what are the strippers like? Is there any strippers on there? And is there bouncers on the door? I said, it's not a club. I said, it's an ancient ruin. He says, F you in your ancient ruin. we want to go see strippers, you know. But anyway, you know, one of the lads when we were coming home said, you fulfilled your ambition. Seeing that Cult thing, I said, the Colosseum. He said, yeah. And also Liverpool winning the European Cup. So yeah, Minerals, seen the four of them. And I know everybody says about Istanbul and, you know, the great comeback. But if anyone asks me what was the greatest European night, you know, final that they've ever witnessed, there is the wonderful first winning the European Cup for the first time. And we've won 5 others since. And we could have won a lot more if FSG would have invested a lot more than that they did.
Mm-hmm.
But right, Daryl Merry, Lee looks like he's in High School Musical or a T-Bird from Greece.
Yeah. I like this. It's for around the house only. I wouldn't wear it outside, like, but it's one of them American-looking things, innit? American college things. I mean, I never even went to school much beyond the age of 11 because I was that type of kid. But, like, I'm a clever swine anyway, so it didn't matter.
So you're
read, write and spell and count adequately by the time I was 11. So going in it very often didn't matter much, like.
Drunk Vigo says, are we actually allowed to discuss this on YouTube? I don't know. I don't know what he's talking about. Did I mention Lisa there?
The news can discuss everything, so I think us guys can discuss everything, you know.
Gary Rigby, has anybody seen this? You must have seen it, JK. And you, Lee, Kez.
Of course, yeah. Of course, love Kez. I love that type of film because I'm working class northerner.
I wouldn't think that you were working class, to be honestly.
Well, yeah, I didn't live in a house until we were nearly a teenager, in a council house until we were nearly a teenager. I didn't live on the floor until we were nearly a teenager, lived up in the air, some god-awful flats.
But you had a roof over your head. That's the main thing. As long as you had a roof over your head, that's it.
We didn't have a car. We didn't have a phone. When you tell kids that these days, we didn't have a phone, they wouldn't know what you were on about. We didn't have a house phone, you know, a landline, because we were too poor. Me nan had a phone. I could use me nan's phone, but me nan didn't live that close. Once we moved, me nan lived miles away, mate.
I always remember playing as a child, little lad, you know, 3, 4 years of age, playing with my little friends where I lived. And there was a lady by the name of Mrs. Mulcahy, and she shouted us all up, to her house. So we all ran up, all the little kids, you know, ran up, and she made us all sit down. And she had this thing in the corner. It was about like that big, you know, the screen. And she had it in the corner. She switched it on, and it was a telly. First time I ever seen a TV. And we all sat, oh. And do you know what was on? Muffin the Mule or something like that. This mule. And we were fascinated by it. That was the first time I ever watched the television, the first time I ever seen someone on the screen and saying the likes of, well, boys and girls, and here's Muffin. You know, you see this stupid thing. but it was fascinating. It was magic. It was the birth to me of technology. If you know what I mean, if you know, you get that feeling of something, you know, that you reminisce about. And I always remember, can I tell you something? Right, I never mentioned this. Get onto this, JK. I used to go to France with 4 other lads. One was a German, one was a Parisian, one was a Swede, and the other was a lad, very posh he was, from Newcastle. Didn't have a Newcastle in, you know, he didn't speak in Newcastle, you know, he didn't speak like that at all, no accent, very posh, this fella. And we used to meet up and we used to go to a place called Perpignan. Do you know where Perpignan is? No? Well, it's in the south of France. It's more or less near the, you know, the Spanish border. And we used to go down there. We used to go to this place and we used to pick grapes. We used to go to this vineyard. We used to pick grapes. And this time, Gilles Lafaux, this Parisian, picked us all up because Kirkheimer, Christian Kirkheimer, he came from Essen in Germany. So he said, look, this is this French lad, Gilles Lafaux. He said, listen, lads, he said, he spoke perfect English, by the way. He said, listen, lads, we'll meet. And we met just outside Calais. He said, and we'll go down. He said, we'll go down in the car. So, okay. Now, this Chris lad from Newcastle, he was 6'5". Huge, tall, you know, tall, he was very tall. And have you ever seen those typical French car? You know, very narrow, and it's had like a cloth roof. You know, you just
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Well, he was sitting at the back, and his head was, honest to God, he was that tall, and he was like that. His whole head was out of the car. His whole head was out of the car. Anyway, we were traveling down. He said, listen, we won't take the toll roads. It'll cost too much. He said, so what we'll do, we lit the other roads, you know, the outer roads, and, you know, we get down, but it's going to take a little longer. He said, yeah, okay, this is at 7:15 in the morning. Right. So anyway, we set up, we have some breakfast. We went into this bistro, had some breakfast, got off then. And we got to the Dordogne district. Get to the Dordogne district. So, and I don't know whether you're aware of this, but France is very flat, albeit that you've got the Alps and you've got the Pyrenees, right? It's very flat. So we were there, you know, going along, stopping once in a while, you know, to have a drink or whatever. And as we were going along, and it was in the days of no plastic, you know, bottles of water or anything like that. If you got a bottle of water, you got a bottle of pure glass, you know. Very rare that you bought a bottle of water, really. You could buy soda water. But anyway, you know, forget that. So driving along. And we get to a place in the Dordogne district. Dordogne. And there was an incline. As we were going, all of a sudden, you know, there's an incline going up. So we were driving up this incline and going there, and then we seen cars on the opposite side as we were driving stopped. We seen a couple of cars with caravans. We seen 1 or 2 camper vans as well. Not a lot of people, but you know, whoever was in this couple of camper vans, and you know, people, they were holiday makers, obviously, and they were on their way to the south of France, right? So we stops and we walks over, because our first thoughts were, oh, something's happened, you know, a camper van or a lorry or even a car with a caravan has tippled over. Because as I said, we were on the incline, we were up, you know, going up. And, you know, whatever's on the other side of the incline, the hill, or, you know, valley or whatever. So we stopped. And we walked over. What got me and everybody else, you know, around at the time was pure, unadulterated silence. Silence. Right? And when we walked over, we stood there. When we got there, I don't know how long those people were standing there. When we got there, we stood in utter and complete silence. Right? And after 6 minutes, we piled back into the car. And we drives. We gets right down to the periphery of Perpignan. And we always went into this bistro, cafe bar, cafe bar. And we walked in, and the fella, you know, he knew us. He knew us, you know, from the previous years. And he said, gentlemen, you know, bonjour, gentlemen, how are you, you know, anyway. And it was Chris, the lad from Newcastle, who spoke first. And he said 5 beers. That's what he said. And we sat down. Now, the point is, we didn't say a word on the way down. We didn't stop. We just went straight to where we were going anyway, to stop at this bistro. And then we started talking for the first time in hours. In hours. Everybody was silent. And even when we all dispersed upon seeing, you know, like where we were standing inside, that gets on my bleeding nerves. So when we all went and into the cars, people, they weren't uttering anything. They weren't uttering any sounds. They weren't speaking. Weren't speaking. And as I said, we just drove. Not a word or anything. Nothing. Until we got to that, until that barman, you know, well, the owner, he was the owner of this place. And when that Chris asked for 5 beers, then we started talking, sat down and started talking.
This is Perpignan, do you call the place?
Perpignan, yeah. Perpignan.
I hadn't heard of it before, so I didn't know whereabouts in France it was.
Yeah.
When you said it, I didn't know where. Like.
South of France, Perpignan. And it was just near the Spanish border as well. We used to go over into Spain. And when Chris ordered the beer, we just sat down. We were just looking at each other. That Chris said one thing to the conversation to erupt into, what we experienced. And he said, as I said, this fellow was very posh. He said, gentlemen, we are truly into the space age. That's what he said. That resonates with me, and it'll resonate me, still resonate with me for the rest of my life until the end of days. What he said. Gentlemen, we are truly into the space age. And you still haven't asked, have you? You still haven't asked. Let's see. Remembering some Liverpool actors, Tony Agarth, who's done film and TV work, and also Ken Jones was a brilliant comedy actor, who was in The Whackers and Porridge. Yeah, he was in another thing called the first time I ever seen him, and he was in some daft sitcom called The Squirrels, about office workers. So funny. But you don't see them anymore. And Daryl says, I'm half Afghan, Frank. There you go. Daryl.
That's true, Daryl.
Now, minerals, lads, what's your Madeline theory? Now, it depends on, Madeline. It depends on what Madeline you mean. Right? 12, let's just go through these. 12th man. I don't know if you're a Kurt Russell fan, but he did an interview with GQ on the most iconic roles. Do you have a favourite film by him? Mine was Big Trouble in Little China. Kurt Russell. Yeah, I liked him in Escape to New York. Was it Escape to New York? That was all right. But I'm not a big fan of his, actually, Kurt. But I'll tell you what I did like him, and I think the best film was Tombstone, where he played Doc Holliday. He never played Doc. He played Wyatt Earp. I think it was very good. Val Kilmer was in. Very, very good film.
I do like Kurt Russell. Yeah, Big Trouble in Little China was brilliant.
Yeah, classic. Classic. Films
Gary,
are good them days. Like Jason Statham makes see Big Trouble in Little China. It's the sort of film Jason Statham could have been in, if you understand what I'm saying. But the quality's gone downhill now with them type of films, like Big Trouble in Little China. You can't really remember it 100%, but you just know it was a good film,
Daryl Merry, JK, bro, I love you, man. Yeah, look at that. I'm in love.
Can't recommend Embrace of the Serpent highly enough. It's a really good film. So, as I say, it's 2015. It's Colombian, but obviously, it's a long time ago in Colombia, over 100 years ago. But it's a very good story, and it's thought-provoking. It's very thought-provoking. If you don't like subtitles, then don't watch it. If you don't like seeing, the Amazon jungle and Native American Indians cavorting around in next to nothing, then don't watch it.
Yeah, we'll all be watching that now because what you've said.
Yeah, and if you don't like thinking about the world, don't watch it.
Well, Soulboy says, Bring Me the Head of Alfred Garcia was a great title for a film. Warren Oates, great actor, him. Most underrated. And he was in one of my favourite ever films, Warren Oates. And he did one of the greatest scenes in cinematography. And it was The Wild Bunch. Did you see The Wild Bunch, JK?
No, I haven't seen that.
Have you seen it, Lee?
I have, but a long time ago. Can't bring it down too much.
One of the greatest scenes ever in a film was at the end, near the end. And you see William Holden, Ernesto Borgnine, or Ernest Borgnine, to all you English-speaking people, Ernest Borgnine, Ben Jonson, and Warren Oates. And William Holden, you just see him, he's been with this young girl and he throws her some money and he's putting on his, gun belt, his ulster, whatever it's called. And it goes outside and you see Ernest Borgnine just sitting there against the wall and he's playing with it. He's got a bird and it's on a string and it's, flying and he's just like that. And then it goes to Warren Oates and Ben Jonson, and they've got two girls, and they're just, they're getting ready to go outside. So anyway, William Holden comes out, and he looks at Ernest Borgnine, who's sitting against the wall on the floor, and he just kicks the sole of his shoe. And he just looks at him and says, "Let's go." And then the other two just appear. And you see them, in the background. You hear all these, Mexicans, Spanish language, and music, Spanish music. And you just see them walking down the street with the guns. Absolutely fantastic. See, because they're going to their death. They're going to their death. You see them walking down. Fantastic scene. Loved it. In fact, I'll get it up today and
do you know what, Frank? There was a second part. I didn't just watch, I did just watch Embrace of the Serpent, but I was going to watch another one, and I watched 25 minutes of it before I jibbed it. It was called American Made with Tom Cruise. It was dog shit from what I've seen, mate. I'm sorry for swearing, but it was. It was called American Made with Tom Cruise, and he was like a pilot or something. And that I seen half an hour and went, I can't be bothered with the rest because it was so poor. It was poo. And I don't really like him as an actor, but I seen him in Collateral, and that was the only good one really where I liked his performance was Collateral, where he had grey hair with Jamie Foxx. I like him because he didn't say much, and when he was forced to say something, it was quite funny or impactful what he said. But apart from that, I'm not a fan of his acting.
Yeah, Tom Cruise. Good actor, Tom Cruise,
Yeah, he is a good actor. I'm just not into him much. He can act, not into him much.
He does his own stunts. He does his own stunts as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, his personal life, But I think he's a good actor. That's.
Yeah, I think he can act. Just don't like him much, his acting. But I liked him in Collateral. That American Made, mate, I got 25 minutes in and I just thought it was like rubbish. The dialogue was poor. The supporting cast was poor.
God, blind. Open your eyes. I'm going to raise a few comments out. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. And Gary Rigby, have you seen With Neil and I? Great film. One of the McGanns is in it. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Dhruv Cosmics, Canna says, also watch The Ninth Gate with Johnny Depp. Good film. Good film. I like Johnny anyway. Drunk says, Lee used to walk 10 miles up the hill to school. And Minerals, Frank, mate, where he must have saved, were you at the mills, were you at Hillsborough, and did you cry when you saw in 4K live? What do you think of that comment there, Lee?
I wasn't at Hillsborough, Frank was. What's the 4K thing? What's that like?
I think, I don't know. it wasn't shown in 4K at that time. There was no such thing as 4K.
I don't know what that is. Sorry.
It might be a documentary. It might be a documentary. What he's going on about his minerals.
No, I think what it is, it's you know, the picture quality of what it was, the original BBC, or it weren't really clear, was it? And I think now with technology, they can get old videos and
remastered,
sort them out. Yeah. So you can see it better, more clearer, what's happening and stuff. You know.
I think I'll get my DVDs remastered. See me in 4K. Do you know what?
4K, yeah.
Do you know what? I'm not a big fiend for like having things in ultra high, massive definition. As long as I can see something, I'm good. Like really.
Well, Drunk Vigo, you know, Drunk Vigo says The Night Gate is good. Yes, it's a very good film. Frank Langella's in it. Frank Langella, he's in it. Great actor, Frank. Johnny Depp worships Satan for real, bro. Didn't know that.
He's a related to the Queen.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp. Yeah.
Lisa says, do you remember the Goonies and Stand By Me? Loved them when I was a kid. Do you know what, Lisa? I thought that, you know, with your name, Lisa, as well. I thought that you'd be younger, you know, like, you know, in the early 20s, mid-20s sort of thing. But yet the Goonies, to know that you, you know, watched it as a kid, so you're a bit older than what I first imagined. And Drunk says, Frank loves those French girls. I wish. I wasn't going to France to see the girls. I was going to work. South of France, my uncle lives close there. You're lucky there, minerals.
I was lucky. I've only been to France once. It was free. The Prince's Trust. You've heard of, I don't know if anyone has heard of them. The Prince's Trust. And if you do something good, I did good deeds. I painted children's playgrounds with other keen. I did it with loads of students who were in university, who were on a loose end, and unemployed people who were like me, because I was unemployed at the time. So we painted some kids' playgrounds and stuff around Liverpool. And he said, do you want to go on this boat trip to France? And I nearly didn't go. I thought, I might not go. And then, like, they got in touch with me and I went, oh, I'll go on that. And we went to France, mate, and I was made up. Because, like, it was France, innit?
Well,
on a boat.
Well, CW74 says, morning all, loving the show, Frank. My mate reckons you will get me the sack currently listening to the show inside the bog. I hope it doesn't give any connotations that way, you know, about the show and where you're listening is in. Oh, brilliant. Absolutely wonderful stuff. And hang on. 12th man says, JK, if you see the interview, you'll see my rant about the disrespect, not including BTILC as one of his best films, stroke characters. Don't know what he's on about.
Yeah, Big Trouble in Little China. He's on about Kurt Russell.
Oh, right, okay.
That's a classic film. Did you like it, Frank?
No, I've seen it, yeah, of course.
It's a top film. Yeah.
It's amazing, isn't it? I remember seeing that on the pictures, which is what we call the cinema 12th man, the pictures we call it. And I remember seeing that Big Trouble in Little China, and it was fantastic. It was a revelation on the pictures, that. Didn't I enjoy myself?
Well, that's what it was in them days. Like, a film would be famous for a year. Now, film's famous for a week, and then ciao, next one, you know?
Well, Soulboy Francis, the Wild Bunch and the Alfred Garcia films, both directed by the great Sam Peckinpah, and also Straw Dogs, which were powerful films. You know, every one of those, Straw Dogs as well. And the fella who starred in Straw Dogs, right, was Dustin Hoffman. Has anybody ever seen it? The original Straw Dogs?
Yeah.
Directed by Sam Peckinpah.
Goes in it.
Oh, it's brilliant. With Dusty Hoffman.
If I'm honest, I'd never heard of it. I just come across it. You know the way you used to come across films late night when you just be sitting up watching telly years ago. Yeah. I just come across it and watched it. Oh, it was brilliant. Great film.
Susan George.
Yeah.
And there's a fellow in it called Del Henny. Big fella, big, good-looking dude he was. And Del Henny came from the bull ring.
Oh, right.
Came from the bull ring.
Yeah.
And he was in that. And he said that when he had Susan George, I don't know what I should say this, like, but when he had, you know, like the acting part, he said I had a terrible tingle. And I went, oh, shit, well, that's nice. But Susan George, wonderful, beautiful actress. So I hope you were acting. It's terrible, you know. I know it's. Mineral says Frank, the artist who wrote "You'll Never Walk Alone," are they still about? No, it came from a musical. Minerals.
Rodgers and Hammerstein, wasn't it?
Yeah, Rodgers and Hammerstein. I love Alicia, you know. Did you know we're getting engaged? Lisa and I. Frank, says lovely Lisa. Still as beautiful now as I was back then. Thanks for the compliment. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you. The engagement ring is on its way. We'll have a big party. We'll all meet up in Shanks's. If that picture of Clough has been, someone told me that the picture has been taken down of Clough. Did you hear that, Lee?
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
Because I would never go in it. I would never go in there. I seen that hanging up, and I said, "Get that down." I was with Francine, so my daughter. I said, "Get that down now." And it was Shankly's grandson, who had a totally different name, by the way, but he called himself Shankly. It's, you know, no problem, but, you know, being a great grandson, and that's no problem. Nice lad. But he said, Brian said some nice things about me great granddad. I said, fella, I said, every Liverpool football fan know about your granddad, even though they weren't born. You could get a 15-year-old today knowing about your granddad, and he'd say wonderful things. We say we're the most important people for your granddad. Get that down. Because he blames us for Hillsborough. And I never forgive him for that, ever. And his son was playing for us at the time. Remember Nigel?
Yeah. I felt a bit sorry for Nigel, like, because he had to equivocate for his dad, didn't he?
He was just absolutely, it's like that, Nigel. You know, and we know if someone speaks, they're not speaking for you, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, but Brian Clough always had a bit of a big mouth, you know. Yeah. He used to always be sort of cocky, you know. He had that sort of energy, Brian Clough.
Right. Soul Boy. There's a good Sunday afternoon film with Susan George and James Mason, Spring and Port Wine, a family drama this time. Very good film. James Mason was brilliant, and he has a very distinctive voice. James Mason, very distinctive, great actor, but they always had him playing a villain for some bloody reason. They always had him play. Strange concoction. I loved that film, Talking Pictures, Channel 82. Loved that.
Yeah, I like that one, yeah.
Now in my bedroom, I've got a telly, and I've got the red dot, you know, where you can like look up things, you know, but I haven't got it in the living room. So if I wanted to look at something, I have to go to bed, you know, put the red dot on, if you know what I mean, to look up if I wanted to see a film. I'll tell you what.
I don't know about that. What's this red dot thing?
It's a what's it called? Encore. It's called Encore. You just see it in the corner of the, you know, the right side of the screen, and you can go on it if you click on it. All the films that are shown on Talking Pictures, documentaries, everything is on there, and you can pick and choose what films, if you know what I mean. Do you know if you missed a film, for example, and you go, oh, I think I'll fancy that. Well, you can go on that.
On Talking Pictures.
Yeah, Talking Pictures, yeah.
Okay.
They show the vintage stuff. They're brilliant, you know. You know, you see the old vets, you know, veteran actors, you know, the likes of Sir Ralph Richardson, John Gielgud, and you know, the likes of James Mason as well. You see the likes of him, and you know, other great actors. You know what I mean? Other great actors, Charles Lawton.
I love Charles Lawton. I watched Thingio not long ago, Hobson's Choice, just for a bit of fun.
Well, that's on there. That's on there for me, love. That's on there. I'm sorry I'm itching, aren't I? I've got this thing. I get stressed out sometimes, you know, over certain things.
Do you know what? I recorded one with James Mason called Hell is a City that I'd never seen before. James Mason and who else was it? A woman actor whose name I know, but I can't remember. But
is it American?
Yeah, I think so.
It's
yeah,
not Richard Widmark, is it?
It could be Richard. Do you know what? I recorded it, but I turned the power off halfway through, so I've deleted it anyway. But I think it's a British one, actually. I think it's just a British one with
The Naked City. I'm thinking of.
I'll tell you who's in it: Stanley Baker and someone. Stanley Baker and someone else. It said. I think James Mason might be in it, but
no, James Mason wasn't in that. That was L Drivers you're talking about. Stanley Baker.
Do you think it was? I might have got the name.
Patrick McGowan.
Might have even got the name. Right.
You know, Danger Man.
Yeah.
Danger Man. It was good, actually. It was good, but that was black and white.
That's right. I've been looking at the mix of old and new ones. Like when I say old, I mean like when I say new ones, I mean newly made ones. Like that Embrace of the Serpent. It's from like over 100 years ago, but it was only made 7 years ago. Do you know what I mean? So,
well, as I said, I watched a Korean film, and it was called. Get it bloody mixed up again. I don't believe it. It's called. I don't know what it's called. Badlands. I think it's called Badlands Hunters. Definitely Hunters. Badlands Hunters. And it's about two Koreans who go after this girl who's been kidnapped. And it's brilliant. If you like action, you know what I mean, but with a decent storyline. I'm not talking about a Jason Peggy, you know. if you like that type. And also, I'm watching now a thing called No Way Up. No Way Up. I went like that. I don't believe this. I was watching it for 5 minutes. And what it is, it's about a flight. Loads of people on board. Everybody happy, talking, And they're flying over the Pacific. And then all of a sudden, into the sea. Sinks. And there's a few survivors. And you see a diver, a diver. And all of a sudden, you just see him coming up, the portal. And they're all going, oh, we're here. Thank God. The spaceship comes down in the Pacific and the bloody diver comes, hello. I went, oh, no. Why? And then all of a sudden, you see the diver going, get the thing out. The next he just gets it. Big chef comes and grabs him. And they all go, oh. Then they see the sharks coming in. And I thought, this is awful. Is people supposed to believe this? So yes, ladies and gentlemen, there's some bad films out there. Some awful films. So listen, lads. I'm going to ask you, JK. People have been putting up films and whatever. What's your favourite ever film?
I would have to say Goodfellas.
Powerful.
Yeah.
Powerful. Lee?
Can't pick one. I can't pick one.
You just pick one. Just pick one. It doesn't have to be,
one single film. Could you give me a genre or yeah,
I understand. Like
again and again.
Just
like
one
single film out of like thousands. There's.
You're not half awkward. You're not half awkward. Do you know what?
All right, I'll pick one that I like when I was a kid. Yeah, hang on. Herbie Goes Bananas. Herbie, the car Herbie thinks for itself and that. Well, I loved that when I was a kid. Herbie Goes Bananas. Can't pick one film. Herbie Goes Bananas.
Herbie Goes Bananas. Oh, come on. Give us a rest.
Well, it's not really a sensible question. It's like, what's your favourite song?
No, hang on a minute.
You can't have one favourite thing.
Hang on a minute. Jesus. Hang on a minute. Well, look at that. We're arguing over bleeding film, a question. Anyway, JK said Goodfellas. That's all. And he's got other favourite films, haven't you, JK?
Yeah, but you know what it is? Why I think favourite film is this. It's a film where you can watch again and again and again. So I think that's the answer there, Lee. So which film can you watch again and again?
Yes. No, I said I loved The Wild Bunch, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
I said that. Now, my favourite film isn't The Wild Bunch, albeit it's close. It's The Godfather.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can watch that time and time again. It's like watching a comedy show, sitcom or whatever. And the likes of what you can watch time and time again. There are three. There's one, which is Rigsby, Rise and Damp. That'll always give you a laugh. So funny. It makes you laugh, albeit that you've seen it before. Because it's the actions as well. expressions on the faces. Also, Faulty Towers, you can watch time and time again. And also, I don't think any of you have seen this, which is a shame, really. And you really need to watch it. And that's called Ricky Gervais and Stephen Merchant. They wrote it. And Warwick Davis is the star. And it's about Warwick Davis playing Warwick Davis and being, like a documentary on him. Fly on the Wall documentary. So funny. And it's called Life is Too Short.
Oh, I've seen that, yeah. I've seen that.
Did you think it was funny?
Yeah.
God blame you. So enthusiastic there, like.
I'll tell you what I liked. Leon with Jean Reno.
Oh, brilliant. Great actor. Great actor, Leon. I mean, Jean Reno. Have you seen him in
I've seen him in
Ronan?
Jean Reno.
Have you seen it? Have you seen Ronan, DK?
Yeah. Classic. Good film.
Brilliant film. Brilliant film, Ronan. Right? Have you seen it, Lee?
Yeah.
Right? Now, I'm going to tell you, and it's the same name. It's the same name. But I want you to watch it. But it's called, and it's a true story. Right? Do you like samurai? Samurais.
Mm-hmm.
And it's called Ronan 47.
Yeah.
Have you seen it, JK?
I've just started watching it back in the days. Keanu Reeves, but I want to finish it. Yeah.
Oh, it's brilliant. True story. You want to watch that, Lee?
Okay. Yeah, I've not seen that one yet. 47.
Ronan 47. Ronan 47. Now, Soulboy Francis, The League of Gentlemen with Jack Hawkins is good black and white old film. Yes, absolutely. I think the likes of the old black and white ones. Well, losing that, you've got all the vets of English cinema or British cinema. Dickie Darling Attenborough's in it. You've got Nigel Green in it. Not Nigel Green, Nigel Patrick, he's in it. The posh for I say. You have these great cast. And it's the League of Gentlemen. And it's about a gang of fellas. Now, he's the colonel, Jack Hawkins. He was the colonel of these lads in the war. And he gets them together to rob a bank.
Yeah.
To rob a bank. Have you seen it?
No, it's what I haven't seen, no.
Watch it. JK, watch it. And it's black and white.
Sounds good. Sounds excellent.
It is. And I'm going to tell you,
I'll watch that if you watch Embrace of the Serpent. Does it appeal to you, Frank? Embrace of the
Serpent. The thing is, I've watched lots of docs about the rainforest, about the Amazon. I've watched films that it's just called. I'm sure it's just called Rainforest. But anyway, it's an excellent film in colour. But no, I don't know. I might watch it. I just don't know.
Little short of 2 hours. No, it's not. It's not inordinately long. Pardon me for yawning. Not inordinately long.
Well, Soulboy says, I think the one I've watched most is Some Like a Dot with Jack Lemmon and Tony Curtis and Marilyn Monroe. When he takes off, Tony Curtis, when he takes off in that in Some Like a Dot, is when he takes off Cary Grant. Takes off Cary. Hello there. He doesn't have to. He takes him off to a tea because he's trying to impress if you know what I mean. So Tony Curtis was a brilliant actor, you know. He was a great comic actor as well. He was a great comic actor. Did you ever see the TV series, The Persuaders? Did you, JK?
I heard the name, I haven't seen it, no.
Yeah, well, Roger the Lodger was in it, Roger Moore. And they're both young, like, you know. Done in 70, 71 or something like that. Both young men. And they hated each other. And you wouldn't think so. That's the good acting out of these lads. It's like Rise and Damp, because Leonard Rossiter and the woman in it got her name.
Yeah, he used to call her the furniture, didn't he, Joan Collins?
Joan Collins.
Right, no, in the Cinzano adverts, remember the Cinzano adverts?
Yeah, I remember, yeah, on a plane, yeah, and he goes like
and
that.
He referred to Joan Collins as the furniture, because he said she's like, you know, just there for decoration, you know, not so much for acting purposes.
Yeah. Anyway, well, that went off that, didn't it? Well, anyway, they hated each other in real life.
Do you remember Fresh Prince? Do you remember Fresh Prince, Frank?
The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Yeah. The first mother of the kids, she didn't get on with all the other actors. And that's why they changed her later on. But I think later on, they sort of got back together, like they did a show or something. But it just shows you like how good some actors are. They could like not really like each other, but they end up doing a top show.
Yeah, they do. Isn't that strange? Yeah. That's what I mean about Tony Curtis and Roger Moore. You know, getting on so well. Francis de la Tour, which I was trying to say about Rise and Damp and Leonard Rossiter, they just didn't. And do you know why they didn't get on? Do you know why? It was because of political issues. Now, Leonard Rossiter from Liverpool went to collegiate. He was an out-and-out Tory. And Frances de la Tour, you know, very posh lady, by the way. She was a Labour Party activist, believe it or not. And they just didn't get on at all. And, you know. Oh, where did Lisa go? I see her. Comment. My favourite is True Romance. Lisa, I'll make that my favourite as well.
Always like
True Romance. That was in that Little Ears and that. What's his name? True Romance. I think that Arquette was in it. Susan Arquette, is it?
Patricia Arquette, Christian Slater.
Christian Slater, that's right.
You got James Gandolfini. Brad Pitt makes a small appearance. Who else is in it? Who's that fellow? Anyway, it's a good film, innit? Good film.
Well, TW says he must be still in the lavatory. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid for me, Frank. Yes. Yes. Drunk Vigo. Frank Carlyle has more energy than Prime Jenny. No, I haven't, believe you. Wish I did. I wish I did.
Frank's had a Carabao energy drink, haven't you, mate? That's what Carabao are, isn't it? Energy drinks.
Do you know what I have every morning for breakfast? Okay. So I'll tell you. JK will be made up with this.
Right,
I'm going to have these for breakfast. Right. I'll tell you what I have. I have to take 2 tablets of a morning, right? So I have me 5 a day, orange, pure orange with bits. I always have the bits. I like the bits. So I have me tea with that, right? That's when I'm in bed, by the way. Then I get up, have a shower, or whatever. And then walk in, make myself a cup of tea. After an hour of lying there like a big dope, you know, just lying in bed, you know, and go out, make a cup of tea. Frank's famous cup of tea I make for myself. Because you like my tea, didn't you there, Lee?
Did, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, and I have a banana butty. A banana butty. I have for my breakfast. And also I have 2 biscuits. Yeah. 2 biscuits. And they're both yogurts. Like that. See? Creamy yogurt biscuits. And that's what I have for my breakfast. How about that?
Sounds like a good breakfast, that, mate. Nice and nutritious, yeah. Good nutritious breakfast.
But you know what I make, which is fantastic, but I think I'm too lazy to make them for some reason. It's just quickness. Do you know what I make and they're fantastic? Scrambled eggs. Everybody who I make scrambled eggs for, go, wow. Make them. Scrambled eggs.
What's the trick?
What was that, JK?
How do you make them, Frank?
Yeah, I have. Yes, I've made them for a couple of ladies, actually.
Because what I do with mine is I put butter in there, bit of pepper or whatever, then I get green chilies.
Oh.
1 or 2, not too much. And then it gives the scrambled egg a better taste. But and you add a bit of milk. Do you add milk to yours?
Well, I butter, milk, pepper, salt.
That's it.
And it's perfect. It's a mamma mia. Bella mangiare.
You know what? Everyone, you can get 100 people. Not everyone, no, there'll be no same scrambled egg. Everyone will have a different scrambled egg. It's mad.
Oh, yes.
It's the same ingredients. Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah, it is. It's strange, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's strange. Anyway, you know, so that's my claim to fame. Scrambled eggs. Good though. And a banana butty. Banana butty. That's my breakfast. Do you know what I'm going to have later on? I'm going to have rice, egg fried rice. Yeah, going to do the rice. And black bean sauce. You never had that?
I don't know about that. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, Thai, isn't it? Thai?
I think about that, yeah.
Black bean sauce, beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make it, by the way. I've already got it in. Just throw it in the microwave or whatever, and then put it on the egg fried rice. Oh,
I haven't used a microwave in 25 years.
Oh yeah, but you wouldn't, would you? You want to plug it in if you haven't used it.
I haven't got one.
I remember me nan would have one of them. My nan's been dead a very long time, like, but she wouldn't have one of them when they came out in the 19 whatever it was. She just said, "I don't trust them, and she wouldn't have one."
I tell you, yeah, again, it's a fallacy or whatever. I don't know.
I mean, my
nan died in 2000, the year 2000, so it was 24 years ago. But she weren't having microwaves when they appeared. She went, "No way. Can they cook the food properly?" They could, like, but she weren't having it because she's an old woman, weren't she? Like, you know what I mean? She's an old woman and she's seen some little box could allegedly cook a whole thing. And she went, no way, no way.
Well, anyway, Soulboy says, have you watched the comedy series Two Doors Down, Frank? It's brilliant, dead funny, but it's on the BBC. No, because I will not watch the BBC.
Two Doors. Who's in it, Soulboy, Fran? Is there anyone good in it?
They're all these new comics, aren't they? You know, I don't.
Yeah.
Maybe
I
I'm
haven't
just
seen many new comedy. The last new comedy that I laughed at was that Toast of London. It was reasonably amusing for a few episodes.
I'll tell you what I watched without fail. Only in the last few years, by the way. Why am I doing that? I don't know. What it was, or what they are, is the In-Betweeners. The In-Betweeners. Did you ever watch that?
Mm.
About 4 lads at school, you know, funny. And I think this was a brilliant take. The next series I'm telling you about, it was brilliant. And it was about 3 lads in ancient Rome, but they speak a modern day language. And it was called Plebs.
Yeah, I never seen that.
Absolute. But I only watched the first series because one of the lads, not the first, second, and third series, he was in it for 3 series, but they wanted him to do a film. You know, he had this big chance to do a film, and he went to do the film, and they killed him off, which was absolutely ridiculous. He was brilliant in it. So, you know, those 3 for me made the series.
Wasn't
There's a slave in it called Grimio.
yeah.
Grumpio his name is, and he is grumpy all the time, and he's the only slave on the planet in the history of slavery that doesn't do a bit of slavery at all. The bastard
Rosenthal in it?
Sorry?
Isn't Tom Rosenthal in it? Jim Rosenthal's son.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. Watch it, Lee. It's so funny. And just watch as well. Life's too short if you want a good laugh. Life's too short.
Yeah. Okay. I'll have a look at Plebs now that you've said it, because I knew Tom Rosenthal was in it, and I found him funny in Friday Night Dinner because I watched that. Yeah, so I'll watch that. Yeah, and I liked Jim Rosenthal. Yeah, they used to buzz off Jim Rosenthal as a footy commentator.
Well, Soulboy Francis, Don McCatchen, and Elaine C. Smith, who was in Rab C. Nesbitt. Yeah, I think I've caught it.
Oh, yeah, sound, yeah. I know both of them, yeah. Drew McKeon and Elaine C. Smith, yeah.
Carry on, lads. There's someone at my door.
Yeah, Drew McKeon's funny. She used to be in, what was it called? Jesus, what was the one called JK with the 3 women in it? The female sketch show from about 20 years ago with Sally Phillips in it, Drew McKeon and Fiona Phillips. It was called Smack the Pony. Did you ever see that?
No.
Smack the Pony. Soulboy might have seen it, but Drew McKeon used to be in that. I'll check it out anyway, Soulboy. I'll have a look. You seen
Which American sitcoms have you watched, Lee?
Seinfeld, I liked. I do like some American sitcoms, other ones. I'm just struggling to think offhand. There are other American sitcoms I've liked, not loads, but Seinfeld's one of the main ones. Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Did you ever see that Mr. Robot?
No, I've heard of that one.
It's not that old. It's a few years actually. Mr. Robot. It's pretty interesting. Trying to watch that. It's good. Yeah, it's pretty good.
What's the premise of the show?
It's just about a guy. It's like him against the world sort of thing, and he's on a journey trying to solve certain situations out. And it's interesting. That guy, what's his name? I'll tell you the name. 1 second.
What do robots have to do with it?
1 second, bro. It's like he's sort of trying to be a part of that sort of system.
Okay.
His name's Rami Malek.
Oh, Rami Malek, yeah.
Yeah. So
I
he's in
know.
it.
He played Freddie Mercury, didn't he?
Awful.
Yeah.
Miscast. Terrible.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He's an American.
Freddie Mercury's parents was from Zanzibar, weren't they, JK?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Freddie, what was his name? Bull something.
Yeah, Farouk Bulsara.
Yeah, Bulsara,
yeah.
I think he had
Farouk.
some Indian in him. Freddie Mercury.
Sorry?
I think he had some Indian in him.
Yeah, he was Zoroastrian. They were from Zanzibar. Where's Zanzibar, JK, on the...
it's off the coast of...
East coast of Africa.
Yep.
The
East coast of Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zanzibar. I love Zanzibar. I said, there's... I used to stream, funny enough.
I mean, you can tell looking at Freddie. Freddie's pure Indian. He's not like a bit Indian. He's pure Indian. You've only got to look at him, haven't you? Both parents, like, totally Indian, like, from
he has a good body on him. And this Malik, he was absolutely, he was awful, him.
He don't look like him, does he?
Because he was an American.
Yeah.
And that's what sickens me. You know, they have to pick Americans to play these, Freddie Mercury of all people.
Also, it was a bit weird with him being a Muslim as well, because Rami Malek's a Muslim and Freddie Mercury was as gay as the days long.
Yeah.
I doubt Rami Malek's gay. He might be, but I doubt it, mate.
What's got to do with it? Anyone could have played him. I could have played him. Well, I couldn't really, because I can't sing. But, why did you get
this person can't play that person. This person can't play that. They're having a fit over that these days. So, saying like.
I think some films now are dreadful. I'll tell you what I liked, and I want you to watch it for next week. And that includes you, JK. And we'll discuss it. Is that all right?
Yes, Well.
I don't think you should have to be gay to play a gay person, but people are saying that now, that you should have to be gay to play a gay person.
Oh, I can't believe this.
That's how ludicrous it's got these days.
But we passed that now. Right. I know that, you don't have to play a gay person. Would you play Elton John, Lee?
Yeah, if they paid me, yeah.
Would you?
Yeah, if they give me loads of cocaine as well, only messing. Only joking. Wouldn't touch the stuff.
And be in bed with Ben Turpin. What's his name? Ben Turpin.
Ben Turpin. Bloody hell. Ben Turpin, that was the cockeyed fella from Lon Lanardi, wasn't it, Ben Turpin?
You can't say
When she goes to bed with him, Frank. Bloody hell. Don't.
Anyway. This is nuts, This is some show, But anyway, I want you to watch Knowing. Knowing, that's all. Knowing. Knowing. Is that all right? Is that all right with you, Law?
Is that Nicolas Cage, yeah?
Yeah, Knowing, Nicolas Cage, yeah. Watch it. And we'll discuss it next week. Is that fair enough?
Sound.
Okay.
JK, Google a photograph of Ben Turpin on your phone now. Just Google a photograph of Ben Turpin from Laurel and Hardy.
Doesn't he know what Turpin is?
Probably not. Probably not. It'll make you laugh, mate, when you see him, because Frank mentioned him about like sleeping with Ben Turpin by accident, Frank said. And imagine sleeping with this man, this Ben Turpin, when you see him.
Bernie Taupin, I meant to say.
I know, Bernie Taupin.
Bernie Taupin.
Oh, gosh.
Do you know what, though? You know, I couldn't, genuine, if I was an actor, if I was a top class actor, playing a character, getting into the part of it, and I was playing a gay, I couldn't kiss another man. I just couldn't. Know what I mean?
I find it hard, like,
what do you think of the actor for his acting ability, Sean Penn?
Yeah, I like him. I like the Sean Penn fella, yeah.
Very good actor, but he's bollocksed everything up for himself, hasn't he? With people. Why has he bollocksed himself up with everyone?
I haven't heard nothing new about him. The last time I heard of Sean Penn, he was on a Christopher Hitchens documentary thing, like kissing Chris's ass, before I had the internet. Christopher
Hitchens, he's good.
Yeah.
He's good. Well, do you know what? You know, he's remember him and Ben Stiller, well, him himself, soft lad, Sean, goes over to Zelensky and gives him an Oscar. Gives him his Oscar. He said, "That's for you." I went, "You idiot." And he went, "Can I have it back when you come back over here? If you come back over here?" And he said, "Yeah, okay." You know, giving him an Oscar, but he wants it back. Absolutely pathetic.
I hadn't heard of that.
Hadn't you heard of that? Oh, yeah. I watch alternative things. And he was bastards over it. Absolutely laughed at. And Ben Stiller went over to see him as well. There's my darling Lisa. Lisa, let me know when you get the engagement ring, so we can celebrate. Signing out now, Boss Show, Frank, Lee, and JK, and a big art. The big art is. I'm sorry, JK. Sorry, Lee. The big art's for me. The big art is for Frank. Thanks, Lisa. Thank you, Lisa. Now listen, while you're there, I'm having a podcast tomorrow. The unfortunate thing is, I don't know whether it's pre-match or post-match. My thing is going on. My thoughts are going on the post-match. Is that all right with you, Lee and JK?
Yeah, better post-match.
Okay, and what I'll do, boys, I'll send you a message what time I'll be coming. Well, Jason will. You know what I mean? What time? You know, we'll be starting for the links. And do you know when I'm going to leave you with this, boys. Remember when I was telling you about that journey through France and we stopped? Aren't you curious of why we were all silent and never said a word, even the people? Aren't you curious why?
Come across a load of graves.
Okay. Are you curious, JK?
Yeah, probably what Lee said. Yeah.
Okay. Well, funny enough, I used to bring my students over to the grave sites, you know, in France and Belgium. Used to, you know, Tyncott especially, unbelievable. Noel Chavas's grave, You know, the only double VC of the First World War. You know, the same war. I'm not talking about other double VCs who won them in different wars, if you know what I mean, especially that New Zealand lad. Not talking about that, the same war. The only VC. Have you ever seen a VC? That's mine, that. Right, so what I seen, I'm going to leave you with this. Not only me, but before other chums, those people, everyone was silent. And when we jumped in our car, another 4-hour journey to get to Perpignan, no one spoke a word. No one, nobody. We were just sitting there, just driving. Do you know what we seen? We were actually looking down at this thing. Have a guess what it was? Remember what that big Chris fella said, the 6'5" fella? What did he say when we first words he came out with when we sat down? What was it? If you can remember. So you take no notice of me, do you? Well, what he said was, we are truly in the space age. And that's resonated with me until now. And it'll resonate with me until the end of days. Because do you know what we've seen? A UFO. We were actually not looking up at it. We were looking down at it. And it took off. It was hovering. And we were looking at it for 6 minutes. Because we calculated the time. And we were looking down at this thing. And after 6 minutes, it was clear blue sky. Not a cloud in the sky. Beautiful day. And it took off. It was like that. That shape it was. And it took off. Like that. Vertical. And it shot up and it was gone. It was gone into that clear blue sky. Just disappeared into that blue sky to a dot, to nothing. And it was gone within 2 seconds. From down there to up there. 2 seconds.
And movement was just unnatural to anything you'd
Unnatural. Unnatural. It was incredible.
Yeah, I've heard that lots of times. You know, when I've not in person, like I've not heard anyone say it in person, but when I've been watching telly, like say, you know, talking about the way they move and that, like.
And Lisa says, "I will be there, Frank, my love." I'm in love. I always remember Paul McCartney, you know. And he got married to Linda when he married her. And this is, you know, he was coming out and stupid FDN. And I said, "How's you feel, Paul?" And he said, "I feel fine." So I'm saying with Lisa's comment there, I feel fine. I want to be Paul McCartney, you know. But anyway, lads, thank you so much for joining me. And Lisa said she'll be there tomorrow night. Well, not tomorrow night, after the game, for the post-match. I hope you all join Lisa, Lee, Darryl, and JK and we'll dissect the game. Do you know what's happening tomorrow, by the way, Lee and JK?
Full house, no?
It's JK. Oh, yeah. Do you know what's happening tomorrow, by the way? Shall I tell you?
It's going to be full house, no?
Yes, a full house.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a full house.
At last.
At last. Mamma mia. So full house. We'll have JK. We'll have Lee. We'll have Darryl, I suppose. And we'll be discussing the game the Burnley game. And
So Jason will send links out, will he, Frank? Yeah.
Of course he will. Of course he will. And Lee doesn't want to see Joe Gomez play for Liverpool FC ever again. And
Did I Alice like say that?
You said it last night, yeah.
Did I Alice like say that?
You said, I never want to see him play for Liverpool
I want to
again.
see him play tomorrow, but at centre back or right back. Don't want to see him play at left back.
I think. Do you know what I think? I think Lee is a spin doctor for the American deep state, for the neocons. I think you're you spin things.
A Blagmeister by trade.
Because he didn't want Gomez at left back, yeah?
Yeah, that's yeah. He doesn't want to see him. He doesn't want to see a right footer playing left back. John, what he said last night was hilarious.
We've seen it for long enough. We've
He
seen
said,
it for
No,
long
but he's doing
enough.
good. He's
He
doing
can
good.
only defend. Did you hear that? What he said, JK? He can only defend.
Yeah. He can only defend on the left. On the right, he can go forward a bit, but on the left, he stops at the halfway line.
He's true when he cuts in. Then he
Yeah.
shoots. Yeah.
Play it back, Lee, and listen to yourself. It's not that funny. And you know, he's kicking the ball, never missing it, and he's always missing. And I want someone to kick the ball and put it on the head. You want to hear yourself? It's funny to put it on someone's head. And Zarrell says he made an assist. JK says he made an assist. I said he made an assist.
And I said, yeah, from the right.
On the right side.
Yeah. The moment he changed him to the right, he got an assist. He's never got an assist once from the left, not once in all the games and all the minutes he's played there, not once. He moved him to the left and instantaneously he got an assist. Moved him to the right. Sorry.
Well, no, I think it's great. It's funny.
It's
Anyway,
true, though, isn't it? He moved him to the right, and within a couple of minutes, instantaneously, he got an assist. On the left, he's never got an assist. He's a dead loss on the left.
I believe that, you know, I believe everything you're saying. And I just... So, I've got... Don't forget, what film are you going to watch?
Knowing.
Thank you. See, he doesn't take a blind bit of notice.
Right, I've already seen it, mate. I've seen Knowing. I've seen
Well,
it
I wanted
more
to watch
once.
it again. I wanted to discuss because you forget.
I've seen it recently. I've seen Knowing about 2 months ago, so I'm good with Knowing. I know about Knowing. I'm in the know for Knowing.
Oh, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. All right then, lads.
I
see you
have the
tomorrow.
Knowing.
Thanks a lot, JK. Thanks a lot, Lee. I'll see you later.
Mate.
Okay.
Take care, Lee.
Thank you all, you lovely people out there. Thanks for keeping us company today. And love you, Lisa. Love you, Soul Boy, Drunk, everybody. And see you tomorrow, hopefully. Bye.
Bye, guys.